Rice is one of the world's most important staple foods, yet it is also one of the easiest grains to push into the ultra-processed category, largely because of its chemical simplicity and cultural familiarity. In its whole or minimally processed form, rice provides carbohydrates for energy, small amounts of protein, B vitamins, and, when unpolished, fiber and bioactive compounds that slow digestion. Traditional rice meals are usually eaten as part of balanced dishes with vegetables, legumes, or protein, which naturally moderates blood sugar responses. The problem begins when rice is stripped of this context and subjected to modern industrial techniques that dismantle its structure and reassemble it for convenience, shelf life, and profit. White rice, which already lacks the bran and germ found in brown or black rice, becomes an ideal raw material for ultra-processing. Its starch is highly uniform and easy to gelatinize, allowing it to be puffed, flaked, extruded, or powdered with minimal resistance. Once this happens, the rice no longer behaves like a grain, but like a refined carbohydrate. Puffed rice cereals, rice cakes, and rice crackers are produced by rapidly heating rice under pressure, causing the starch to expand and the internal structure to collapse. This creates a light, airy texture that dissolves quickly in the mouth. While this may feel harmless or even light, it actually results in extremely fast digestion, sharp blood glucose spikes, and weak satiety signals, encouraging frequent snacking and overeating. Extruded rice products, such as processed rice snacks and many gluten-free cereals, represent a more extreme form of manipulation. Extrusion exposes rice starch to high heat and pressure, altering its molecular structure and making it even more rapidly absorbable. These products often contain little more than refined starch, added oils, salt, and flavorings. Because rice has a very mild natural flavor, it acts as a neutral carrier for additives. Manufacturers can easily load rice-based products with sugar, sodium, artificial flavors, and colorings without triggering immediate taste rejection. This is why rice appears so frequently in products marketed as low-allergen or clean, even when they are nutritionally hollow. Instant rice and rice-based noodles further illustrate how rice becomes ultra-processed through convenience. These products are pre-cooked, dehydrated, and then reconstituted, a process that increases starch digestibility and raises the glycemic impact compared to freshly cooked rice. Instant rice noodles often contain refined oils, emulsifiers, and flavor packets high in sodium and sugar. When consumed regularly, they promote blood sugar volatility and can displace more nutrient-dense foods from the diet, especially in populations that rely heavily on quick meals. Rice crackers and processed rice snacks are frequently perceived as healthier alternatives to wheat-based snacks, but this perception is misleading. Many rice crackers are made from refined rice flour or starch, combined with vegetable oils and coated with salt or sweet glazes. Despite their thin appearance, they are calorie-dense and nutritionally sparse. The lack of fiber and protein means they provide little lasting fullness, making it easy to consume large quantities in a short time. Over time, this pattern contributes to excessive refined carbohydrate intake without corresponding micronutrient support. Another concern with heavily processed rice products is their impact on metabolic health when eaten in isolation. Rice starch, especially in its refined and processed forms, has a high glycemic index. When combined with sugars and consumed outside of balanced meals, it can repeatedly spike insulin levels. Chronic exposure to these spikes increases the risk of insulin resistance, weight gain, and type 2 diabetes. This is particularly concerning in regions where rice is already a dietary staple, as ultra-processed rice products layer additional metabolic stress on top of an already carbohydrate-heavy base. There is also an important psychological and cultural dimension to rice's ultra-processing. Rice is associated with tradition, simplicity, and nourishment, which lowers consumer suspicion. This trust allows ultra-processed rice products to enter diets easily, often under health-oriented marketing claims such as gluten-free, fat-free, or light. These labels distract from the reality that the food structure has been fundamentally altered and its nutritional value greatly reduced. The central warning with rice is not that it should be avoided, but that its processed forms behave very differently in the body compared to intact grains. Whole or minimally processed rice, especially when cooled and reheated to increase resistant starch and eaten with protein and fiber, supports stable energy. Ultra-processed rice products do the opposite. They deliver rapid glucose, weak satiety, and high exposure to salt, sugar, and industrial additives. Because rice is so easy to puff, shape, and flavor, it becomes an invisible foundation for many ultra-processed foods. Without conscious attention, rice quietly shifts from a cultural staple to a significant contributor to refined carbohydrate overload and long-term metabolic risk.